Another hotspot we are following is in Iraq, where battles are centering around one of the country's most valued resources, water. Sunni militants with the group known as ISIS have launched an attack on two key dams in western and northern Iraq. To help us better understand the significance of the battle for water and the gains made by the Sunni insurgents in northern Iraq, we are joined by Andrew Borene, member of the Truman Project Defense Council. He joins us from Washington. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Andrew, one of the elements of the story here that is so striking is that Iraqi forces have come to the support of the Kurds, and we haven't seen much cooperation between those rivals until now. That would seem to me to speak to the significance of what they're up against. Can you just put that all in context for us?
Sure. I think what you're referring to most recently was the Iraqi government. Prime Minister Maliki had announced that the Peshmerga Kurdish militias would be receiving air support from the Iraqi military in their fight against ISIS after these recent blitz of terror type attacks by Islamic State fighters into Kurdish territory, and in reference to nearby the Mosul Dam that you just referenced.
Right, and that's something that they hadn't been expecting before. So I suppose it just speaks to, you know, how dangerous and desperate the situation has become. But I mean, this water obviously significant. How at risk are these dams?
Well, earlier this year, in April, Islamic State militants had taken control of a dam not so far from Abu Ghraib and had used that to flood areas, which caused a massive disruption and forced resettlement of refugees. So we know that they've adopted that as a tactic in the past. The concern about the dam at Mosul, it is Iraq's largest hydroelectric power generator, and obviously that would be a critical piece of infrastructure, not just for territory currently claimed by Islamic State terrorists, but also for other parts of the population currently governed by Iraq or in areas controlled by the Kurds. So when you look at that strategic value of that particular dam near Mosul and its power generating capacity, you can see why it raised a great deal of attention yesterday. For an update, I would update that we've read reports as recently as this morning that the Kurds have confirmed that they did not lose control of the dam, but it was attacked, and that the Islamic State terrorists had gotten so far as into working crew type housing areas near the dam.
Does this speak to the importance of water as a resource? Is it the electricity side of the thing that matters here? What sort of impact might it have on the population if that dam were to be interrupted?
Well, absolutely. There's a power generation aspect to it, but there's also control of the water from those rivers. As you know, Iraq used to be the Fertile Crescent. The Tigris and the Euphrates rivers are an absolutely critical piece of the infrastructure, both for power, but for to some degree transportation, and also the control for irrigation could be very detrimental if terrorists got hold of that and used it to create flooding further downstream in areas near Baghdad. So when you think about the sheer volume of millions of people living in Baghdad who would be affected by that, you can see why it's absolutely critical the Islamic State not be allowed to gain control of that dam.
Certainly a really delicate situation. Andrew, thank you very much for your time.